大厂一年 rework 好几次，今天我就讲一下怎么准备。我是麦克老李，亚马逊前总监。我10年在亚马逊经历了5次的重大组织重组，我自己的团队里头重组那就更多了，基本上就是半年一次。除非我们是 rework 的发起人，不然的话 rework 发生一般都不会提前通知我们。那这样我们怎么准备呢？我给大家准备一个框架，这个首先就是3层关系，你跟你老板有没有信任，你跟你的国际之间有没有 visibility， 跟你和 stakeholder 有没有 relationship。前2个我之前视频大概讲了一下，所以我今天着重讲一下跟 stakeholder 保持关系的方法。我会尽量保持一个 monthly 或者 quarterly 的 check-in meeting。如果你不知道怎么找个话茬来开启这个 one-on-one， 我一般就会这么说：Hey, I just want to do a quick check-in to get some feedback on my team's product or service. I also want to give you a sneaky preview about the XYZ product we're working on to get some of your inputs. 很多时候我这个话茬也就是 one-on-one 的理由，是我这个 stakeholder 对我的产品或者服务可能是有些意见，或者是我们在某一些事上没有 alignment， 但是我之后要在其他的场合需要他的一些 advocate 或者 alignment， 这时候我就需要用到这个技巧，就叫 plant some seeds in their head。在这个 one-on-one 最后呢，我就会说 Hey, let me follow up on the XYZ item that you voiced. Are you opposed to me setting up a follow-up meeting in the next month? 这样我就有了第2个跟他 follow up 的理由。在这第2个 meeting 里，我就会直接跟他说 Hey, I know we talk about ABC item that you have feedback on. I want to give you a brief follow-up about that. Are you seeing improvement in the past 2 weeks? 他基本上就会说 Yeah, definitely felt the difference. 我这个 influence 结构呢很简单，就是 leverage a specific item to start a one-on-one, then ask for feedback in the one-on-one, act on it after the one-on-one, and finally ask if they felt the difference that my actions made. 这样我在 stakeholder 里面的关系呢，就是用这个结构一个一个就建立起来了。我们再讲回怎么准备 rework。第2层关系就是我们需要2层沟通和一个建立。第一个就是你跟你老板、阁级和 stakeholder 有没有表示过自己想要更多的 scope。第2个是你在之前有没有领导过超过自己职能的项目，而且没有 burn out。然后这个第3个就是在公司内、公司外怎么建立自己的个人品牌。如果事情没有往自己想的那个方向发展，我们有没有一个强力的备选方案，就是 option B。前一段我跟另一个亚马逊的 director 一起做了一个关于 Reorg 的免费课，之后的一段呢，就是我们2个 director 对于建立个人品牌和人脉的一些技巧跟看法。
Now we jump into the framework. How do we embrace ourselves and how do we prepare ourselves? We start from assessment. Because, to Sam's point, rework happens so frequently. It's almost like an annual year, it's norm for big tech nowadays. And nobody's going to tell you in 30 days, I'm going to send an email about a rework. It all just happened when it happens, right? So we should always be prepared for another rework to happen. And once we have the mindset, we have the foundation, we'll enable ourselves to do that. So it starts from a self-assessment. First part is, do you have trust from your manager? Like either it's your existing manager or your skip level. Number 2 is if your skip level has visibility of your work and achievement. Do you have solid relationships with your stakeholders? Do you have good credibility and reputation in your work? Because chances are when rework happen, what you do won't change that much. What your manager does might be expanded, might be shrunk. But as an individual contributor, you're the cornerstone of the company, of the team. So people don't want you to leave. You'll be told that keep doing what you're doing. And because of that, have a solid network within your org is going to get you to a bulletproof situation. Number 2, the second layer of this chart that I drew is, do people know what you want to do? Do people know that you want to grow? Have you talked to people like your manager, your skip level, or even your stakeholders? And second is important is, have people seen you taken more responsibilities without burning? What I call this is punch above your weight class. It's a boxing analogy. Like, have you taken more without, like working 24 hours? If you have done that sustainably and consistently, it's usually a good indicator for your leadership that you're ready to take on more scope. Now, that's a happy path. Like Sam and I work in a program management, operations management. There's like a happy path and not so happy path. And then the not so happy path is usually what we prepare for very heavily. And the not so happy path in this situation is, what if your new org is not as good as you expected because of various reasons. Now, that's the little side branch that I drew here is if you have a strong internal and external network, that will make you even more bulletproof. Like, you have a back pocket option you can fall back to. If things don't go well, you have a list of people you can just pick up the phone and call, and they can potentially offer you a job if you're not happy with your current one. Now, we'll talk a little bit about how to build trust, but like we should always have a plan B. Now, the assessment how to do this is to keep doing it. Like, I try to do it every 2 months to assess like all the blocks that I talk about over here. Does my manager know what I want to do? Have I shown that I can do more without burning out? Have I shown influence to my stakeholders at skip level? Do I have a refresh list? Have I talked to my connections every so often so they know what I'm up to? So keep doing this checkpoint with yourself. It doesn't take too long once you get into the rhythm, but my point is it will get you to a situation you feel confident and comfortable when the rework happens. Anything else, Sam, you want to add?
Yeah, you hit on all the main points. I mean, it is all about networking and making sure that you're keeping up to date with your peers on that side. I know sometimes a reorg doesn't even affect your team. It affects a close partner team, and so you might be navigating how do you actually respond to that reorg? Does it affect my team at all? Or how are you like a team that they can actually lean on during that reorg? Because a lot of the times we're talking about it does affect you, but what about when it doesn't? And so I think there's a lot of things that you have to pay attention to on that side. But a good best practice that I know Mike and I have both had within our careers is we've set up consistent one-on-ones with our peers that we work with consistently. And so that was just like a checkpoint every 2 weeks or a checkpoint once a month, just to stay up to date with how everything is going. One, how are our teams interacting? What do they need as a stakeholder? But that also gives you some inner knowledge too of what's potentially happening on their leadership side that might affect you that you can keep aware of. So I think that's super important. And all of that stuff comes organically. We're not saying force any conversation, but it's super important too because you need that network and you need that support system when reorgs happen as consistently as they are. I mean, once a
Yeah.
year, we expected reorgs in Amazon, but then after 2020, it was once every 6 months. And that's continuing the rate, if not a little bit even sooner in a lot of the tech companies today.